Well, good morning, Hokies. Thank you very much, President Sands, for your kind introduction and this opportunity to address your graduates. Welcome and congratulations to the faculty, alumni, parents, and of course, you graduates. We mourn the loss of President Emeritus Charles Stiga. He dedicated his life to Virginia Tech. I know he will be proud of this graduation and all that Virginia Tech stands for. Across the country this month, year after year, people like me are at microphones trying to impart deep, important life lessons and wisdom. And across the country, people like you are sitting in those chairs wishing we'd hurry up. On my journey to becoming a physician, I participated in several graduations, so I can relate. You want to get out. You want to get started living your lives. So don't worry. At VMI, I learned the 3 B's of public speaking. Be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. I promise you the first and the third. I want to tell you a story this morning. When I was a second-year pediatric resident in training, still learning how to be a doctor, one night I was on call in the neonatal intensive care unit. We had a case where a premature baby was dying. The baby's x-ray showed what we call a pneumothorax, where air collects outside the lung. That wasn't something that I had handled by myself before. Ordinarily, as a second-year resident, you'd call the attending physician. You'd call for an adult, someone with full training, someone who knew what they were doing to stand beside you and guide you. But my attending wasn't there and couldn't get there fast enough. I knew that the baby would die if I waited. So I had to put a chest tube in to save the baby's life. I wanted to wait for someone with authority, someone who could shoulder this responsibility, but that person wasn't there. I had to be the adult, no matter how much I didn't feel ready to be. For many of you, college has been a time when you're still in a bubble, under the protection of people with greater responsibility. But that day is over, as scary as I know it can seem. To you and to your parents, you are adults now. It's up to you to save the baby, because we need your help. Anyone who has watched the news lately understands that we're in a unique moment of challenge and complexity in this country and in the world. I wish I could tell you that my generation has a firm grasp on problems like economic inequality, lack of access to health care, global warming, gun violence, globalization and automation, immigration, and many others. But the truth is, we don't. Now we're not ready for our rocking chairs quite yet, but in addition to finding a good job and a great place to live, the young men and women who graduate today will be responsible for setting the future course for all of us. And I ask you to use your strongest moral compass. You, as graduates of this particular university in this particular Commonwealth, are going to lead the way. That's the Virginia way. It's the principle upon which this state was founded. We are a commonwealth because our founders recognized long ago that we're all in this together, that a safe, prosperous society only works if we focus on the common good as much as we do on our own. When we focus on the common good, we also respect others as individuals, not judging them based on sexual orientation, skin color, which country they come from, or which religion they practice. We work to welcome and uplift everyone, because that's the Virginia way. It's also the value upon which this university was founded. It is even in your motto, ut prosum, that I may serve. Your education here at Virginia Tech has prepared you uniquely for this responsibility, because you weren't just trained to read and write, code and calculate. You've earned a degree from an institution that takes pride in preparing its students to do more than succeed. Aim high, and remember, you may be whatever you resolve to be. Hokies are educated to lead. Ut prosum, that I may serve. It will be easy to ignore those words or assume they're meant for other people. At a moment when it's never been easier to lose hope or grow cynical, I understand the temptation to tune out and focus on what's right in front of you. When you're feeling that way, I hope you'll remember that you're a Hokie of Virginia Tech. And as we have seen all over the country in recent months, you are a member of a generation that isn't waiting for my generation to determine the future for you. You're ready to be the adults. You're ready to save the baby. You have the power and the responsibility to make the world you want to live in. You make the relationships that you will sustain. You make the communities you want to raise kids in. You make the world you want to leave your own children. You can live a life that makes the world around you better. You have that power. We need you to use it. That is my charge to you today. But this wouldn't be a graduation speech if I didn't have some sentimental life advice for you as well. You know, I want you to get your full money's worth. That's why they pay me the big money, right? Let me tell you about the incredible importance of a phone call a week. Some of you are probably thinking you make way more than one phone call a week. And others are surprised to hear that some old people like me still talk on the phone. But hear me out. My brother and I both went to VMI. He is 2 years older than me. Every Sunday, we went together to the same phone booth to call our mother and father. Now, for you young people, let me explain. A phone booth was a person-sized box that held inside it a telephone. And you put coins into a slot, and it would let you make a call for a few minutes. Or, if you were like my brother and me and didn't have any money, we called collect. Okay, that means that the phone company charged our parents for the call. So get this, we charged them money to ask if they would send us more money. The only difference now is you all probably text instead of call. But that weekly call was a touchstone. No matter what we were doing, every week we called and told our parents we were doing okay and that we loved them. Over the years, I've continued that practice, making at least one call a week just to tell someone in my life how much they mean to me and that I'm thinking of them. You know, Sunday is Mother's Day. So it would be a good time for you to start those calls. And happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers here today. Those calls aren't just for the people I'm calling. For me, they're a reminder that no matter what's happening in my life, no matter how high or low I'm riding, nothing is more important than the relationships I keep. Not jobs, not politics, not money. That one call a week keeps my feet planted where they're supposed to be, with the relationships that define our lives more than any of those other things. If there's anything that you learn as a doctor, it is that life is short, and the most valuable things in our life are there with us at the beginning and the end, our families and our friends. I know you're going on to do great things. Virginia Tech is a great university, and you worked very hard to get here. It's virtually impossible to predict what will happen in your lives after this day. I can tell you for sure that no one, myself included, would have looked at this skinny kid from the Eastern Shore in VMI and said, there's the 73rd governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. But I've had a wonderful and supportive family. My brilliant and beautiful wife, Pam, is way out of my league. As a fellow Eastern Shoreman, Ben Holland would say, I way out-kicked my coverage there. And our children, Wes and Aubrey, are the best kids a dad could pray for. And from seeing them, you can assume that no matter what highs or lows might come in life, I'll be okay. So my hope for you is that no matter what you do, you will put relationships first. If you do, the other things will come. And no matter what happens, you will have the people you need to build a life worth living. You never know how you'll affect someone else's life. That premature baby whose life I saved as a second-year resident is now 33 years old. So whose life will you touch? I have faith that you're up to the challenges ahead. I have seen your generation already to start to step up to the plate, speaking out when you see injustice and when you disagree with the status quo. Keep it up so that when you're in my place, when you're in your rocking chair, you can look back and feel satisfied that you built a good life and contributed to a better world. Congratulations and thank you.